Our bridge in Jiu Jitsu has a couple of very important functions, mainly to create space. Anytime we're in a defensive mode, we need to create space from our opponent, and our hips are our strongest part of the body, so we're going to utilize that as much as possible. We've got two angles of bridge that we're going to look at today. One is the straight bridge, which is going to simulate if somebody's on top of you and you want to get their hands on the mat. It's going to be an initial stage of defense. So to do that bridge, Savannah's going to bring her knees just up, bring her feet off the floor. You're going to push into the floor with both feet and lift your hips as high as you can to the ceiling. Notice that her heels are off the ground and she's aiming to get her hips up above 90 degrees from her body. Lowering back down, going again. So she brings her knees up, she pushes into the ground and lifts the hips up. What this is going to simulate us doing is if I was in an attacking position and I was here, particularly in a self-defense situation where I can strike into her face, or if I'm coming into a choke, once Savannah goes into this bridge, my hands are going to come down onto the mat and it's very difficult for me now to do any attacks towards her head. The second bridge we're going to go through is our side bridge, right? This is again creating space, but now we're also looking at angles, right? It's going to be a little bit more versatile for fully escaping mount positions or out of our side control. From here, Savannah's going to be reaching over with her left arm and bridging towards me. So as she pushes off the ground and her hips come up, her left arm comes over. Pause there, Savannah. So reaching right up. Notice that she's got a nice long line here and the highest point is her hip coming back down. As she goes to the other side, she's reaching up and over. The weight is on the shoulder and on the feet again, and then she's coming back to the middle. Let's go for one more to each side. So she bridges up, the weight goes onto the shoulder and onto her feet, and then she comes back to the center. One more, big lift of that hip, and then coming back to the center. Now a bit of context for that is if I had her in side control and she wanted to make a bit of space, she's going to bridge into me, and then as she comes back down, we can take advantage of that space once we learn our techniques.